Have you ever felt that a single ingredient could ruin your entire day? For Elena, a professional food blogger, perfection isn't just a goal, it's a requirement. But today, her kitchen has a problem that no recipe can fix.
Mateo, could you come here for a moment? Look at this.
What's up, Mom? Is lunch ready?
Not exactly. Look at these greens. I bought them yesterday, but they've already wilted. They're completely lifeless. If I use these in the photo shoot today, the whole dish will look, well, amateur.
Can't we just, I don't know, put some water on them? Make them wake up?
I wish it were that simple, Mateo. Once the texture is gone, the flavor usually follows. We're in a real fix. I have exactly 3 hours before the client arrives, and our fridge is practically empty of anything fresh. I've heard a rumor from the neighbors. They say there's a vendor at the Old North Square who only appears on Saturdays at noon. They call it the talking cart.
Wait, like a cart that actually talks? Like in my cartoons?
Not exactly a cartoon, Mateo. They say the quality of the produce is so high that the cart speaks for itself. But some people swear the owner is a bit magical. They say he won't sell to you unless you can describe exactly what you're looking for.
That sounds like a challenge. Can we go, please? I want to see if a carrot can tell me a joke.
All right, grab your jacket. We're going on a culinary mission. But listen closely, Mateo. This isn't just a walk. To get what we need, we have to use our intermediate skills. We have to be specific. We aren't looking for red things. We are looking for vibrant, firm, heirloom tomatoes.
Vibrant, firm. Got it. Let's head out.
As they walked, Elena decided to turn the trip into a lesson. In the world of high-end cooking, vocabulary is just as important as the knife you use.
Mateo, tell me, if we get to the cart and the vendor asks why we didn't go to the big supermarket, what should we say?
Because the supermarket is boring?
Close, but let's use a better word. We should say the supermarket produce is mass-produced. It lacks character. We are looking for locally sourced vegetables. Can you say that?
Locally sourced. Does that mean the farmer lives nearby?
Exactly. It means the food hasn't traveled thousands of miles in a cold truck. It means it was picked when it was ripe, not when it was green.
Look at those. Are those ripe?
Actually, no. See how the skin is wrinkled? That's a sign that they are past their prime. When you're shopping for quality, you want skin that is taut and glossy.
Taut and glossy. Okay, I'm taking notes in my head, Mom.
Good, because look, we're here, Old North Square, and look at that crowd. Something tells me Barnaby's cart is exactly where the noise is coming from.
The air around the cart didn't smell like a typical market. It smelled like a rain-washed garden. Elena stepped forward, adjusted her bag, and took a deep breath.
Ahem. Step closer, Elena. I've been expecting a chef with your particular standards today.
Mom, he knows your name.
Good afternoon. I've heard you have the best heirloom tomatoes in the city. I'm looking for something with a high acid content but a sweet finish. Do you have anything that fits that description?
Most people just ask for red tomatoes, but you understand the complexity of flavor. Look at these green zebras. They are firm, tart, and perfect for a sophisticated salad.
But Barnaby, aren't green tomatoes, well, unripe?
A common misconception, young man. These are bred to be green. Touch the skin. Is it soft or is it resilient?
It's It's resilient. It bounces back.
Exactly. That's the sign of a tomato that will hold its shape when Elena slices it. Now, Elena, what about your greens? I hear your kitchen suffered a wilted tragedy this morning.
News travels fast. Yes, I need something crisp and vibrant, something that can stand up to a heavy vinaigrette. This kale looks exceptional. The stems are thick and the leaves are incredibly dense. Barnaby, if I take 3 bunches of this and 2 pounds of the zebras, what's the total?
For a professional like you, I'll give you the wholesale price. Let's say $18.
18? That's a bit steep, don't you think? Even for enchanted produce. I was thinking closer to 15.
Mom, you're arguing with a talking cart.
She's not arguing, Mateo. She's negotiating. It's an art form. Tell you what, Elena, I'll give it to you for 16, but only if you promise to mention my locally grown philosophy in your next blog post.
You have a deal, Barnaby. $16 it is.
Splendid. Mateo, here is a Honey-Crisp apple for the road. It's on the house.
Thank you, Mr. Barnaby. It's actually taut and glossy.
We made it, Mateo, and with 20 minutes to spare. Look at the difference. These tomatoes aren't just food, they're visual assets.
Barnaby was right, Mom. This apple is so crunchy. It's way better than the ones from the corner store.
That's because it was harvested at the perfect time. Today wasn't just about shopping, was it? We learned that if you want the best results, you have to ask the right questions and use the right words.
And you have to know how to negotiate with a wooden cart.
Exactly. Now let's get this salad started. Can you help me rinse the kale? Gently, please.
What a journey! Elena and Mateo showed us that English isn't just about grammar, it's about context and confidence. Let's review the professional phrases we used today. Resilient, something that bounces back or stays firm. Negotiating, talking about a price to reach an agreement. Steep, an English idiom for too expensive. On the house, when something is given for free.
Thank you for joining our adventure today. If you want to master real-world English and hear more stories from Mateo and me, make sure to subscribe to Speak English Daily Official.
And leave a comment below. Tell us, what's your favorite fruit? See you next Saturday.